200 AI citations, almost 25K impressions, clicks. This is in 2 months of a new project to sell dirt, sell gravel. It's one of the oldest industries that hasn't been digitalized yet. This genius over there with experience told me, if you do that, you kill your business. Dozens of quotes every day, and we're making sales almost every day with this thing. We discovered this market of construction materials. No, actually, I dreamt since I was a complete newbie to sell dirt, sell gravel. No, not at all. It's just that it's one of the oldest industries that hasn't been digitalized yet. And believe it or not, it runs on Excel, on phones, or I saw some people taking orders on sheet papers. It's pretty crazy, but it's one of the biggest industries in the world, and mostly in the US. So we decided to create something to solve that. And we have 2 things. We have one marketplace, so basically anyone can come and buy any construction material. Oh yeah, I need red clay, I need topsoil. And most importantly, we show the pricing. And that's an amazing thing in the market because no one shows the pricing. You just need to call them, nobody answers. They say, oh yeah, I want this quantity, they don't know. It's really, really hard to order that when you are a small client. I'm not talking about a big contractor, that's who we are focusing on. We're focusing on the landscaper that maybe has a huge house and wants to decorate it, this kind of thing. So that's for the context. And the second thing is to automate all of that with AI agents. And that's the job of my co-founder, CTO Pierre. We run AI agents that are going to take the phone calls, that are going to call the suppliers, that are going to call the leads. Okay, we receive someone that wants to buy field dirt or topsoil. The agent calls them and says, oh yeah, you wanted some topsoil, this is the price, and trying to close them. And this is going to be fully automated, and we're also going to open it for all the people that do this kind of services in the US. The talk today is, okay, how do we get our clients? Because this was made really in a week. The basic site, maybe not the pricing engine and the suppliers network, of course, but the basic website is in a week. But how do I get visitors over there? So I'm an old school guy. I love the, how do you say, the direct response marketing. So basically, I pay ads, and my job was to convert them as much as possible and to make sure that we get a benefit. Today, it's become super, super hard. Why? Because everybody's releasing the project. Also, the Max 7 are pushing their price up. So advertising has become super, super expensive. And it's hard to be in benefits since the beginning. So we decided to go the SEO route, but we don't know anything about SEO. So I went to my friend Seva and asked for help. He's a SEO GEO expert. He has been doing that for 20 years. He gave me a tool, and he said that was giving me some advices. I was like, okay, that's great. And we pushed it further. So what we did is programmatic SEO. And I want to show you the results first, and then talk about how we did it. So this project, we launched it 2.5 months ago, and we started doing programmatic SEO 8 weeks ago. Here you can see the results. It's really amazing for a new website, but basically we can see it growing. We can see almost 25K impressions, 235 clicks. This is on Google. I can also see here on Bing, 200 AI citations. Everybody's talking about, oh yeah, I want my project to be cited on AIs. Well, we did this kind of work for that too, because it's super important. We saw that the conversion rate is amazing. It's like 8 times, 10 times bigger when people come from ChatGPT or Claude. So that's super, super important. But as a new brand, we are competing with people that have been doing that for 20 years. Their website is a PDF, but still, they got the visitors, okay? So it was hard. We can also see here the search performance on Bing. By the way, if you didn't submit your website on Bing, you should do it. It has a lot of traffic, and ChatGPT basically references from there. What we also did is, I don't know if you guys know that, Google Merchant Center. Who knows about that? Google Merchant Center? Okay, so we really need to tear down and go to market events. This is Google giving you free traffic on your products. You submit a list of products, and every time that someone looks for that product on Google, you see the little cards on top with an image, and you say, oh yeah, that's really cool, I'm going to shop that. So they do that for shopping intentions. As you can see, in not even June 30, so yeah, in a month, 141 clicks, 12K impressions. That's pretty amazing too. So yeah, these are the results, and I can show you how we did it here on our website. First, we started with calculators. That's the basic thing that people find on internet, and also when you ask ChatGPT and Claude. For us, it didn't work that well. We could try to create this calculator, yeah, how much do I need, and we created a ton of different calculators, one for sealed and being very specific. Oh yeah, how much field sand do I need for my project? It worked well, it got some clicks and some impressions, but not as many as the other strategy. The other strategy is about programmatic SEO for cities and prices. Maybe this is going to sound very difficult to do for your business, but know that you can do that for almost any e-commerce business. It's just another route to take. You need to find a different way to do it. So what we did is we started with a colonist map. So here we start with Florida. This is our great plan to conquer the United States selling field dirt and topsoil. So as you can see, for now, we only have Florida, but that's already amazing. You can run a huge business in Florida. Florida is bigger than Spain in terms of market size. So you enter in Florida, and we have 67 counties. So that's 67 more pages that people can land on. 67 counties. Let's say I go to homes. In homes, I got 4 cities. We took the kind of the major cities in Florida. Of course, we don't take all the cities, all the zip codes, but the ones that can drive traffic. And we created a page for every city. So suddenly, people, when they look for a construction material, they can land on that page and they can see all the prices. It's amazing. So this type of page, the state, city, is the page that is the most cited on LLMs. Because LLMs, they look at the geolocalization, and they find this specific page for you guys. Oh yeah, I'm looking for field dirt in Miami. That's amazing. There is someone that is doing that. What they don't know is we are doing everything like everyone else, but we just have different landing pages for everyone. And lastly, yes, of course. Sorry?
All the numbers the same?
They're not the same, and that's the difference that you need to be very, very careful with. I'm going to talk about that, yeah. Not the same because we have different pricings and also different materials. And all of this is also automated. When I add a new supplier and I find a new pricing for that material, boom, it creates a page, it references it on Google. It takes time, of course, but it creates it. So imagine just the amount of cities that we got already, the amount of pages that we can create. But that's not the last part. The last part is to create one page per product per city. Of course, why not? That's even more specific. That's even more specific. So you come here, up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need. I need field dirt delivery for mayors. So not only this brings us a lot of traffic, but it also converts a lot better because it feels like the user found the gold mine. Oh yeah, this is exactly for me. Right? Yes?
Most empires try to sell at least something shiny to the natives, but in this case, they're own dirt.
Exactly. Well, dirt apparently sells a lot better than many other things. So Piero, you can already come if you want, because that's going to be his part. He's going to talk about the technical part. I'm going to introduce it. Basically, the thing is, you need to have every page to bring real value. So it needs to be different, because Google is really looking for that, programmatic SEO, and they call it the thin pages, just pages with no real content, no real value over there, and they're gonna desindex all the pages if they find out you are not bringing any value. So that's what I was saying. Maybe there is not this specific thing for your business, but you can always find a way. And that's where you need to be a little bit smart and try to find the way for your business. Of course, it might not be as easy for this one, but you can get it. So Pierre, yeah, tell us what you need to be careful with when you create a page, because that's his work, you know, he talks with the AI and...
Yeah, exactly. Well, since 2024, Google has really stepped down on the thin content duplicated pages because it's so easy to generate them with AI. So you really need to be aware of variance in your pages. For us, it's, well, as you said, we have the price, which is really our mode here. We can deliver prices for every zip in in Florida for now, but in the US eventually. And at first, we tried to do a unique page per product per zip. But it is way, way too thin because, well, from one zip to another, you know, you do 100 meters and basically it's the same price. There's not going to be a lot of delivery difference. So we packed it up to cities, and we did sort of a a mean and average in the city to get average prices in the city, so it makes sense. But then it's still very similar. If you have a page, I know some of you have tried to do the page. It's just a template. Oh yeah, you put the city, you put the price, but then it's the same description. It's basically the same page in different cities. That's not interesting. You need to go a step further. Some of you might think we did we submitted 1,300 pages, but we did not generate everything with AI because that would have been way too wasteful and way too long. And really hard actually for AI to generate uniqueness on 1,300 and more pages. Because right now we're only deploying the southern half of Florida. So what we did is we created fragments. And what's really interesting in Florida is to know about the soil types and the flood zones. I'm not a Florida expert, I just chatted with Claude to know about that, right? And so we created fragments. So what to know about Fort Myers? Local ground. We looked online and okay, we have more than 120 cities, something like that. So we did a search for every city. How is the ground in the city? How is the flood zone with official US state data? And what are the best months to install? And then you can go down. What type of project you do with this particular project, because also it varies with the project. So with Topsoil, you do garden beds, you do some leveling. That will change if you take some Filsen, for example.
One thing about that too, what is super important, I think, that for your own business, is to find a database of something that makes sense for your business, but that is not well presented. That's what we did. All these things about the floating mechanisms, whatever, all of this was in a closed database that we just represented so Google and people can find it useful. So maybe you have a public database, I don't know, about how flat every city is, whatever, and you can use it for your bike. These kind of things.
So it's actually useful for people to know their soil types in their city, because they will actually look at topsoil and say, oh yeah, I do need that, because if I just plant my flowers in the ground, it's not going to work. And you add variants, and you add measurements on your website to make sure you have enough variance between the different pages. And at the end, you got combinations. You got exponential combinations because you have the product. I think we have more than 60 fragments. So you had 10 products time 10 fragments, time flood zones, time everything you can find that's relevant and interesting for your business. And you have unique pages.
And before publishing them, you test.
Of course, before publishing, you test. And the end line is how much Google penalizes you for your content. And you can go back in the Google search tab. Pages, exactly. What you need to look for is, can you go down, please? Crawl, currently not indexed. This tells you the theme content. This is the bucket where your pages are when they are being crawled by Google, but Google has deemed them not relevant. So we have more than 900 indexed, and we have only 19 that are currently not indexed. So that's quite
something
good.
That you need to be very careful.
For programmatic SEO, if you have around 80% of your pages that are indexed, that's pretty nice.
And we have
way more than that.
89?
89. Well, we added some more, and we need to do something.
Yeah, that's the thing. We are adding them by batches of 700,
more
something like that. Because the thing is, if we could submit already, I don't know, 10K pages. But this genius over there with experience told me, if you do that, you kill your business. I was like, oh shit, because the AI, I wanted to do that. It's just one click. It's not that easy.
And not only that, but they are creating real value to the user. And at the end, if you give proper value, they will mention you. You will become a source of this kind of information. And if other websites cite you, the classic backlink, if they mention you on other websites, you will grow even more trustworthy to Google or AI.
So there is a big opportunity right now because a lot of huge or old websites are not doing programmatic SEO correctly. Either they have a lot of domain authority and it doesn't really matter to them because over the time they have accumulated, but there is still a lot of space for you to go and create relevant pages and crush the opponents, your competitors, whatever, and get some, it's true.
Yeah. One last thing I wanted to mention too, and I did that since the beginning, and I recommend everyone to do that for every new project that you are releasing. You create that with AI in a week. you submit the information about the business everywhere. You can get as many backlinks as possible. A lot of people post on X saying, oh yeah, get backlinks over there. Most of them are not follow, so basically are not really giving authority to your domain. But what you can do is if you reference your website, your project on Yellow Pages, Yelp, that's what I was opening Yelp. You know, sometimes now Yelp is recommending us, and it's crazy. Like in super small city, they are recommending us because they crawl that page. So you can post everywhere and always have the same information, the same links, the same opening hours, the same address, the same phone number. That helps LLMs to cite you, and that's how we got so many citations. That's super, super important. And there are some weird pages, like I added this to Wikidata. It's something that you need to put line by line, and it's so painful to just list your thing over there, but it takes 15 minutes, or you can ask an AI to do that. And then suddenly it's value for your business for years. Because when you look at this is in 2 months of a new project. And we are making dozens of quotes every day after 2 months. And we're making sales almost every day with this thing. Why? Because now Google just brings us visitors, and this is a very easy market for this thing because people are problem aware and solution aware. Like I cannot convince someone to buy topsoil on Instagram. I say, oh yeah, you should buy topsoil. No, that's not possible. People, they have a need for topsoil, and they know that the solution is just get topsoil. That's all. Maybe they don't know exact material, but that's how you can maximize your returns. If you have a product or a business like that, that's how you can maximize your returns with programmatic SEO. So I don't know, we can go with the questions. Thank you so much. If you want these kind of things to be implemented in your business, you want us to help you, we can try to help you if you want. Just contact us with this or any other thing. We'll be happy to help. That's the goal of the community. We have people like Sebastian. We have many people here in the community that are willing to help. So yeah, so if you want to implement, let's go.